Okay, on the last lesson, we did a little bit of housekeeping, organizing our code here, but the next lesson, or the next thing I want to do, which we probably should do now, is let's go on the desktop right over here and right-click on that desktop and then create a new folder. And let's call that folder HTML hyphen samples, okay? Now, when we do that, we can put our folders in this one sample folder so we have everything kind of organized in one place. With that said, I'm going to take this first page. I took out the title that we had here, and I took out the body of code that we have here, because what I want to do is name this as a template file. So let's save as, go back down here, make sure that we're saving as a type, all files, and we're going to just say template.html. We want that template file inside the HTML samples folder, so that inside that samples folder, basically all we have is the template for right now. With that, we're going to now work with this document. Instead of messing with it too much, what we're going to do is save as right now, save as, and we're going to call it heading.html. If I don't change this at the bottom, it's going to make it a txt file. I know I've been saying that a lot, but what will happen is you'll be stuck wanting to know what's happened there. Let's go ahead and throw that in our file too. Now that we have a heading file and it's our HTML, let's put in here sample heading. Or better yet, like heading sizes. Okay? And then we're going to put a comment in here. I'm going to take this comment out and replace it with the code. So we're beginning basically right here. We're going to start with the less than, H1, greater than, and then we're going to type in this is a sample H1. Less than, close it, close the tag, H1 tag, and then the greater than sign. So let's go just try this out, see what happens. Save it, go into that. This is a sample H1. Now, if you notice what happened there, and I'm showing you this mistake because I obviously saw it, this heading is inside this folder. So what I've done was, when I saved it, I must not have done it correctly. So I'm going to save as, and here's the problem. I need to pick that folder, that HTML sample sitting right there, and now we can go ahead and call it .html. It should complain that there's already a file by that name in there, and do I want to replace it? And yes, I'm going to replace it. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, I normally would like you to type out less than HTML close and write out all those tags, because the memory muscle interactions with your brain remembering things, it's really great. But I do know that a lot of people just want to kind of get through all this. So with that said, we're just going to copy this whole tag down and paste it. So we're going to do we're going to copy, right click, select your text, right click, save as, or copy, and then go to the end of that tag, hit your enter key, tab over to where you're supposed to be, and then we're going to right click and we're going to paste. Now we're going to come through here and change these to 2, sample 2, sample 2. How about if we capitalize these T's over here? Control T and then a Control T. Now I'm going to select that one more time from the end. Got it selected. Now I'm going to just show you a different way. Now we can come up here and do a copy, and come down to the end of the tag, hit the enter, come over our tab, spaces, and then paste. Change our code here to represent a H3 tag. And just for fun, let's just see what that looks like. So let's save that. And now if we open this up, you're going to notice that we don't have anything. I mean, basically, we don't have anything because this was the trashed one. I need to throw this out. This one's sitting here in the middle of nowhere, and I didn't want it there because we're keeping all of our folders, our files in this folder called samples. Now we hit that heading tag, and there we go, our samples. Now, if this button on Windows now, if you're Mac, you're much more literate with computers than us Windows people, so I'll give you credit there. So right here, we're going to go with this minus sign, the minimize, which is going to bring it all the way down. Okay, when I hit it again, I'm going to maximize it. But the next one over is going to give you a way to control the size of everything we're seeing here. Now this is true on all of the windows. Okay, it doesn't matter what program you're in. So if I come over here and I do that, and I make that heading tag just kind of spaced out over here, and then I go with my notepad and I come over here to the side, and just so we don't be distracted by backgrounds, let's just pull it over here so that we're kind of covering up most of our windows. Now, with that said, if I maximize these, I minimize them again, they're going to come back to the same spot. If I minimize them down to the toolbar and I collect them from here, I'm going to open up to the same size. So this little button in the middle of these two is going to give you the ability to resize. A lot of times I'll pull my browser over to represent like a cell phone so I can see what's happening over here, because it'll force everything to be in about the size of a cell phone. Okay, with that, let's just go ahead and continue moving on, because now we can go copy, right, and come through here and paste. Make sure that we add our tab, go to 4, now we can do save, refresh. We're seeing what we're doing right here live. Yeah, you want to see? We can throw, what does it look like to put a bold tag here? You know, let's just try bolding this out and see what it's going to have. Is it going to bold for us? Don't forget, you need to close that tag because it won't know where to stop. If I try to save this now and take a look at over here by refreshing, you're going to see that nothing happened. The reason why nothing happened is because heading tags are already bold. Okay? I wanted to kind of show you a sample of how forgetting that closing tag will kind of mess you up there a little bit. Going to put you on pause. I just added the remaining tags there, so we have 1 through 6. We're going to save it and refresh it, and there we see our tags, but that one says 3 because we didn't change it over here. So we can do a save. Not only can we save a document by going save, but we can hit the control button plus the S button, which will make things go much faster. Along with the refreshing the page, here you could refresh it with the icon, the refresh icon, or you can refresh the page by hitting F5. And F5 also refreshes the page. So that the less you can move your mouse, sometimes a little bit quicker, if you can remember some of these little shortcuts. So there you go with the example of how to make it. We learned about our heading tag, right? So we can make the headings, and in the next lesson, we're going to learn a little bit more.